Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is Boxing Day in our corner of the world, and people are all frantically running around trying to buy more things. Oh my God, it's a sale. You know, there's going to be another one, right? You know, there's going to be another sale. Just saying. So, Santa and I, there's Santa. See, there's Santa. He's wondering why the light isn't on. Santa and I had a very quiet day yesterday after many days of hitting the wall and falling down and saying, ow. So today I thought would be a great time to talk about train wrecks because the story of my life. I keep saying ow. So I want to talk about career and life train wrecks. I just experienced one, and we have all experienced them many times over holidays where we're looking forward to something very, very special. And here it is, 10 o'clock for those of you joining right on time. Hello, welcome back. It is Boxing Day in Canada, and I'm Abby Haggard. For those of you who have just decided to tune in and you're looking at this saying, what on earth am I looking at? What is she doing? Is that really? Yes, it is. So Abby Haggard, me, stumbled, tripped, fell, thud into an opportunity at one point in time in her illustrious career. And the next thing she knew, she was a mom on television, and then she was a bunch of Care Bears, and then she was a bunch of creatures. And Good Morning, Daniel, and then she was on Teddy Ruxpin, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. And it just got to be a very busy, happy time. Good morning, Chris. Good morning. We have recovered. We are alive and well, and we may be leaning a little more fragile into the wind, but we're leaning into the wind. And so I was just telling the new people joining us that as often happens in show business and other train wrecks, shows end, right? And ours did, and then there wasn't any work because the shows ended. So I took up writing. And I discovered a whole huge population of people who needed people who could write. So I did that for a long time, almost 10 years. And then, but you might kind of miss it. You miss the frantic dash, mad swirl, fall down excitement of doing stuff, doing live. And I was on my way back a few years ago. And then a really sweet friend of mine hit a health wall, and we took that journey, and then it ended, and so then I did come back, and I am back, and there's a huge aftermath in every big crisis that we all experience, and every one of us here has certainly been through these things where you just didn't realize how much cleanup there is and how much take a breath and just rest and rethink and figure out which unhealthy habits we've picked up along the way to compensate, right? And then we kind of clear our heads, and we do a significant reset. And so that is what I've been doing for almost a year since I got back. And then just when I thought the mist had cleared, we hit another one. But fortunately, it was very sudden, very soon, and very quick to recover. So we're all good. Pivotry in motion is a concept that I came up with during COVID, and that is to teach people how to pivot in your thinking, pivot in your people like us do things like this, pivot in your what if. And if the comfort zone has become your discomfort zone, there's no reason why you have to keep pretzelizing yourself. There's no reason, there's nothing helpful about resolutely looking back and saying what might have been, and oh, those were the best days. No, they were those best days. The best days are now and on their way. Because if you want to choose to live yesterday, then you're getting in the way. You're getting in the way because we want you here today. That was the decision with Pivotry in Motion, and it has been moving forward beautifully. I've met so many amazing people. I've met people who are involved with the first response service dogs that work with PTSD. I've met people in the healthcare community. I've met all you amazing, fabulous, crazy people in nostalgia entertainment. And a show is emerging that is a combination of me being me, which is sort of funny, kind of, I don't know, philosophical, boof upside the head, and then sort of an advice, but interactive and kind of fun. We're going to call it dearabbymom.com, and you can choose who you want advice from, me or she. So some show, some tell, some discuss, all grow. Good morning, Warren. How nice to see you. Hi, Julie. You're sick. What do you mean you're sick? You got sick? Warren, what are you not supposed to get sick after Christmas? That's crazy. Be good to you. Have soup. Stay warm. Hydrate. So here's the thing, for instance, Warren and I are talking about some stuff and now he's sick. But it's okay, because you know what we have after today? Tomorrow. So the conversation today, train wrecks and what they look like. And I got a thing this morning, everybody thinks success is a straight line. Nope. Success is a cat's snarl of a ball of yarn. Freddie, good morning, Freddie. Merry Christmas. Happy Boxing Day. You're all here. The gang's all here. This is so cool. So my first career train wreck happened when I was in first grade. I was thinking it was kindergarten, but no, it was first grade. I was the angel of the Lord in the nativity play. And behold, I bring you very small angel of the Lord. And it was in a small school, and they had a little, I guess it would have been the lunchroom. They didn't really have a stage. So what they would do is the kids would all sit cross-legged on the floor, and the parents who would come to see the Christmas play would sit on chairs behind them. And for the big kids, they would sort of sit around the edges near the back. And because it was a grade school, it wasn't just, primary low grades. So anyway, there I am, and I've got wings, and I'm doing my whole thing, and I'm standing there, and unto you born this day, the Savior. And as I'm doing my thing, I see a large kid get up from the corner back, and he's walking to the back of the class. And unto you is born this day in the city of David. And all of us, when we put on our costumes, we left all our other stuff at the back of the room in little piles. So against the back wall, little pile of things. And we all on the stage area, we just wore ballet slippers, right? So all our stuff is in the back. I'm watching this guy, and this shall be a sign unto you. And I'm watching this guy, and he goes directly like a bee to my pile of clothes. And he picks up one of my shoes, and he turns around and he looks me dead in the eye, and he holds the shoe up. And you shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes in a manger. And he walks over to one of the windows, Christmas, opens the window and flings my shoe out into the snow, turns around, straightens his shoulders, closes the window, saunters back over and sits down. So probably the first time anybody ever saw the dead look, right? The dead eye look. So I have no memory of what happened after that. I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure the teacher heard him open the window. I know she wouldn't have had time to rush over and stop him. Slam. That'll teach her. So I thought it was an appropriate story to tell, because clearly I've had my run-ins with individuals who had something critical to say about my performance or my contribution to the greater good of the development of culture and the arts. And so this recent one, oh, it's your niece's birthday. Well, happy birthday to her. Tell her happy birthday from me. So what recently happened to me happens to a lot of us, and that is this. We have a boat, and we're in the boat, and we invite people in the boat, and they get in the boat. And at some point, they realize they don't want to be in the boat. My great and good and crazy, clever, talented friend Dave Keogh said, we have auditioned band potential partners for years, thousands of them. And they have this inflated idea of what it's going to be like on the road. And when they realize that they're going to be all crammed into a van and that we're all going to eat and pretty much sleep wherever we can. They're disillusioned. They think that, you know, they get the peeled grapes in the hotel room and the beautiful girls on the first trip. And no, it doesn't matter what we explain to them. It doesn't matter how we say to them. That's not how it works. They've got this vision in their minds. So this is pretty much what happened to me the other day. But in the middle of frantically mid-stride getting ready to go live, I'm informed that I'm not going live because we're not going live. And I thought, oh, I see. Well, back to the drawing board. And then what ensued for everybody on the planet was frantically getting ready for Christmas. Me, what ensued was frantically undoing all the things that had been frantically done for the last 2 months, because the boat is still moving. We are still heading for our goal. We are still rowing. We are still creating the pivotry concept. We are still always have been the unforgettables. Some of us unforgettable longer than many of you. However, the whole idea is that we remain unforgettable when we remain true to who we are and what we do and the promises we make. And if we have to break them, we remain unforgettable if we break them with dignity, if we break them with compassion and care, not just fling it off the side of the boat and keep going. So these things happen. They've happened throughout my life. They've happened as a part and parcel of show business. I've always said that show business is a place where crazy people desperately seek the affection and approval of strangers. That's crazy. And how we maintain our sanity is by keeping it in perspective. And that is that these are not people who love us and come unconditionally. They are people who have fallen in love with our work and what we represent. It is not a relationship that we think it could be in terms of together we'll make this happen. How it works as collaborators is what we can bring to bring it to life and benefit us and them, so we all become unforgettable. That's the real equation. And people miss it. That we miss it in so many ways because we get all caught up in the emotion of it. And really, we need to feel the passion. We need to have the emotion in order for anything new to work. For anything new to work. So what is the solution on this Boxing Day? And by the way, Boxing Day is a metaphor for what I'm talking about. Boxing Day is the day we say to the people who love us, thank you so much for thinking of me. I'm going to get this in a different size. I'm going to get this in a different color. I love you for doing this. My love for you for doing this does not hold me hostage to the fact that you did it. You do not gift with the intention that it must be received in the spirit that it was given. We gift unconditionally. Boxing Day is the opportunity to say, I can replace this with something that is more suitable, that is more practical, that is more fits me better. Because that whole 7 pounds by Friday thing has been slowed down considerably due to the onslaught of sugar plums and whatnot. So what I always like to do on Boxing Day is it's kind of a hybrid thing. Everybody talks about making New Year's resolutions, right? We all say, well, starting on, I don't know, I'm going to do this. On Boxing Day, do you know what I return in exchange for something else? I return the plans and dreams and strategies that didn't work. I don't go back to the store. I go back to the drawing board. And I say, it's Boxing Day. I get to upgrade. I get to rethink. I get to choose what works for me based on what I've discovered doesn't. No matter how you try, You can't spend your whole life lying flat on your back on the floor in order that your jeans fit. Just saying, I heard it somewhere. So this is what I want us to do. This is our homework, okay? Because by the time we come back for our next video, maybe there might be another one. There might be. By the time we come back for our next video, it's December 31st. It's New Year's Eve. It is a day when we say, turn the page. Turn the page, fresh stage. I want us to start now. I want this today to be the introduction to our opposites. I want this today to be the moment we say, I love this. And now I'm going to draw a heart-shaped line around it and I'm going to love it from afar. I loved every single exciting moment of collaboration that began on the 10th of October. The fact that it ended with a thud whomp out of the blue is unfortunate. There are so many ways for it to happen. I don't regret any of the choices made, because out of the choices, out of the rubble, out of everything that goes astray, we find shiny things. We find cool ideas. We find, oh my gosh, how long has that been there? And that's always the way it happens, which is why when I see the posts around this time of year and so many people are saying, oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year, and other people are saying, not so much. If we look at it like this, when we try, when we break new ground, we're never sure what we're going to find. And if we keep our eye on a distant prize, we miss what's right here, what's right in front of us now. If I had not said, let's do this project on the 10th of October, the Unforgettables would still be an idea waiting. However, it's not simply an idea waiting. It's real and it's exciting and it's gathering momentum. And Chris, I have to say in front of everybody, you are being a real trooper. You are doing an amazing job. You are just making everything happen. You are using all your skills and all your background and all your connections. And it's just a sheer joy to see what you're bringing to the Unforgettables. So hats off, sweetie. It's wonderful. That wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened if I hadn't said, oh, look at that on October the 10th. If Jeremy Storer hadn't said, you know what, I went to high school with a really great girl and she's got a group you should probably join. Do you want me to reach out to her? And that's how I met Amy Makepeace. So Jeremy, thank you. Thank you for that really cool and clever recipe, soon to be world famous. Thank you. Amy, you're wonderful. Thank you for saying, my group is your group. Come in, sit down, mind the mess. It's such a joy. It's so much fun. None of it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't said, oh, look, on the 10th of October. So we have so much. Mary Ho Ho, Mike. Yes, Warren, lie down, get some rest. If it's spinning, you know the trick, right? If you're feeling dizzy, you know the trick. Chris, you're more than welcome. It's me thanking you and you thanking me. That's how it works. So let's talk about train wrecks. Let's talk about career train wrecks. Let's talk about life and relationship train wrecks. You know what? A train works when the rails stay parallel, when we're both facing in the same direction, we both have a similar plan. There we are, side by each, right? The minute one of the rails just veers a little, not good, not good, immediately not good. Loud and scary and messy, not good. Expensive, not good. And so what we must do, I think, just mom talking here, just Abby mom talking here, we can't demand that people stay on course. We can't demand that people stay with a single focus that they share with us. because everything is growing and changing and taking shape. So we lose things along the way. If they don't leave graciously, and we are the ones who have to clean up the mess, well, you know what? It's a lesson learned, but it's an important lesson learned. So can we look at them and say, why did they do that? Sure we can. Except that that's a lot of time invested in as somebody said, why the snake is poisonous. Not really important. Getting the venom, getting the antidote is more important. What went wrong? I don't know. I'm not curious enough to care, because I'm more curious and more invested in us and this and everything that we're doing. Along the way, I might learn, and maybe I don't, and that's okay. Because our focus, yours and mine, something went wrong, a plan failed, we were promised a job, it was taken away. Okay, we need to do two things. One is say, now what? And the other is, when there's time, was there something I could have seen? Let's make a note of it. Let's put it in the later folder. Let's look at the trajectory and what did we see that we weren't paying attention to? But that's for later. That's for later. When our success goes through all of this, we simply need to remember that that's the way it works. That's the way it works. And stay focused on what we want, where we are going, why we are going there, what it serves, what it changes, why it matters, what's in it for us. When people change their minds, they've said, there's not enough in it for me. Check, please. There's layers of courtesy and care and graciousness to say, listen, I'm really sorry. I gotta go. I got a thing. That's helpful. But that requires a lot of thinking and a lot of planning and a lot of guts. It takes a lot of guts to do that. So here we are, as I say, everybody's getting ready to go out to the stores or coming back from the stores or looking at the weather and saying, you know what, I've got enough. This is Boxing Day. This is the day we get to say, what works for me better? How can I make that mine today? That's the plan for Boxing Day. The reset is, what do I really want? This I'd never thought of, but you know what? If I just add blue to it, it's perfect. Boxing Day is an opportunity to rethink our old ways. Maybe not so old. I was laughing when everything hit the wall, and I said, boy, it's been a long time since people went around the world in 80 days. But here we are, almost right back where we started. So with that in mind, over the holidays, so much close proximity, so much frustration, so much disappointment, so much holding our breath and hanging on. If you had the opportunity to say, I need advice, Abby Mom, well, let's do that. Let's look at that in 2025. I want you to check out the website, unforgettable'srockyou, just the letter u.com, unforgettable'srockyou.com. See all the cool stuff. See what's going to happen. See what has happened. And we're going to create something amazing the way we have been since it began. And for anyone who has no idea what on earth I'm talking about with this Unforgettables business, let's just talk about you for a second. If you've been watching my videos for a while, 318 videos, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, humans of all shapes and sizes, remember this. I started it to let you know that I'm still here. I started it to let you know I'm back. I started it to give you a sense of what it's like to partner with me on this. Imagine in the new year, Zoom calls like this, one-on-one consults and strategies. You know what that's going to be? That's going to be a VIP insider's access. It's less than $1 a day. You can't get coffee for that. So we're going to be doing that in the new year along with a bunch of other things. We have the show coming. We have, it's been a long time coming. We have the show coming. We have the dearabbymom.com emerging out of the ether. And we have some incredibly cool, fun events that are going to be taking place. Kind of a hybrid thing. You know, these live events, these fan cons I've been doing. Well, we're going to add a little extra to it this coming year. And I think you're going to enjoy it. So I'll be back maybe before the 31st. Definitely on the 31st. So between now and then, be good to you. You matter. You deserve it. Remember to hug your loved ones, no matter how much they get on your nerves during the holidays. Be sure to hug your loved ones because they deserve it too. And I always say, I wouldn't be able to do this without you. I would not be having these videos without you. You're the stuff. You're not a spectator. This is an interactive sport. That's why all these comments are just so awesome to see and read later and respond to. Best time ever. So don't go crazy this weekend. Don't rush around frantic. We got all kinds of time to decide what it is we want. It begins by making the list and crossing the things off that we no longer need, that no longer serve, that no longer fit our purpose. Okay? And I will catch you next time.